Hello students, this is our lecture number 2 on the second lecture on string handling, and today we are going to cover the string conversion, some of the character extraction examples, and at the end we will be also discussing some of the string manipulation operations. So in my early session, somewhere while discussing the string, I've given some of the examples, like for example, int or SOP or system dot out dot print. Okay, and here I've given examples like hello. Okay, hello plus 5. Yeah, if I exactly remember, I've given you this kind of example. SOP, hello, concatenation operation, 2 and 2. So what should be the output? So output was, for this example, the output was hello 2 2. Okay, so now how did you got 2? So had it been another situation, a similar kind of situation, instead of this, suppose you have given parenthesis, right, before 2 and after 2, and one more parenthesis here. Okay, like maybe here you give given one more parenthesis. Now in that case, your output was hello hello 4. Okay, so this was what the output that we have got it if you tried it. Okay, so you must try this in your system. Until you don't try, you'll not able to understand. Now what is the difference between these two output? So one, if you give the output, so if you give the parenthesis, then it will evaluate. Okay, and if you don't give the output, it will try to convert this data into string form 2. Okay, and similarly this into 2. So that's how you get this hello 2 2. So now somehow the other, here you can make it out that the data in this output, the data has been converted. This data was converted into string. Okay, you have also encountered in your previous semesters and all ATOI. Okay, ATOI means alphabet to integer. So if any alphabet is given, you can convert it into integer. For example, suppose you have written char c equals to, okay, a, right? Then if you convert int x equals to ATOI of c, then you'll get the integer value of the character a. Okay, or the ASCII value of character a. So there somehow you are trying to convert data from one form to another form. So likewise in Java also, that is done with the help of the value of method, right? Value of method. So the value of method is responsible for converting the data into its string representation. So that's why you got two over here. Okay, so I am assuming that the parenthesis is not there. So it is the value of method who is responsible for making a 2 data into a string 2. Okay, so this value of method is defined by the string class. Okay, so inside the string class, you have got the value method. Okay, so with the help of which the value of the data will be converted into string form, a string representation. Okay, Java string value of method converts different values into a string. Okay, so with the help of this same method, you can convert any data into a string. Okay, maybe an integer to a string. Now suppose the scenario here, it was 2. Okay, which is a data. Now instead of this, suppose you have got the situations like class demo, and you have got some instance variable like um, int a, okay, equals to 5, and b equals to 6, right? I'm assuming, okay? And you have a small code like compute, okay, void compute, okay, not void, int, okay, int compute, uh, and then I'm writing the inline function itself to compute return a plus b, right? Okay, now you have got one more PSVM string args is there, so I'm not writing it in detail. And then you have got the object creation of class demo, so demo ob equals to new operator demo and parenthesis, okay? So this is the normal way of creating the object. Now with the help of this object, suppose you invoke the method ob, okay, sop system dot, I'll write system dot out dot print ln, okay. Suppose here you have written ob dot compute. So basically you're trying to invoke the method, okay, with the help of the object. So in short, this is the object you are printing it, okay. Or if you write down here demo, okay, and uh, return demo object, whichever, okay, whichever, somehow the other you're trying to print the value of the object. Now if while conversion, if you are considering the input as object rather than the data directly, unlike here, then in that case the value of method will invoke string to string. So in short, if you are converting a string from a data, if you're converting a data into a string, then value of method is sufficient to calculate the value, corresponding value. But if you are trying to convert a object into a string, then value of method will again invoke to string method to calculate the value of the object, okay. So if while printing it, if while printing it, if you're giving the data, if you're giving data here, say for example sop, if you're giving the data, if you're giving the data, then it will invoke value of method. This will invoke value of method, and since it is a data, so value of method is sufficient enough to convert this data into a string. But if the situation is object, then this value of method will further invoke to string method to calculate the value of the object, or to convert the object into a string. So toString returns the string representation of object. If you print any object, the Java compiler internally invokes toString, okay, through value of on the object. So overriding toString method. So overriding the toString method returns the desired output. Okay. So now somehow that you have now understood that when in what situation value of method is useful, and in what situation toString method is useful, okay. So if you are converting a direct data into a string, then value of method is sufficient enough to deal with it. But if you are giving the input as an object, then further value of method will invoke toString method, okay. Now as said here, somewhere here you can even override the toString method as well, okay, because you want the output of your type, okay. Suppose you want to do that, okay. We'll see an example for the same. Suppose there is a class, okay. Suppose there is a class called box, in which there are some of the data members like int width for w, or I'll write it wd width, and height with height, width and height. Fine. Okay. So now this is one thing. Now we'll have a constructor for initialization whenever an object is created. Okay. So for example, w is width and int h is height, and I'll try to initialize wd equals to w and height equals to h. So whenever an object is created, right? Now somewhere here I'm going to write down the code for overriding the toString method, which I'll write it later on. Okay. So now this is one portion. Let us highlight it. Okay. Okay. Now let us write down the another main code. Class demo psvm is there. Okay. Then after that you have got the brackets for writing the code of the psvm. Now let us first create the object of class box. Let me remind you, this example that I'm writing out here is example pertaining to how can we override the toString method that is already there with the string class. Okay. So box ob equals to new. Okay, so now I'm writing the parameterized constructor overloading. Okay, so here because there is a constructors over here I've used, so I want to give some values. Say for example the values I want to give 5 and 6. So at the time of object creation ob, 5 and 6 will be given to width and height, okay, wd and xt through w and h of constructor. Okay. So this is first situation. Now let us try to display SOP. Okay, SOP OB. Okay, now it will try to display the value of the object. So what is the value of this object OB? So now obviously since it is an object, so a toString method will be invoked internally. Now suppose you want to override that toString method. Okay, suppose you want to override that toString method. Now how to override it? Okay, how to override it? So you can override, you all know that toString method returns an integer. So public, so that it's written so that the default is public only and it's accessible. That's why you can override it. Return type is string class, because obviously you know that toString will convert the object into a string. So until unless the return type is string, it cannot return it, right? So return type is string. Now name of the class is toString. Sorry, name of the object is toString, and it takes input as the object. Okay, it takes input as the object. Okay, so sorry, and semicolon is not there. So whoever invokes it has whoever had internally invoked the toString method of string class, this certain code will be executed, right? Okay, now return. Suppose you want to have your own statement. Okay, return dimensi dimension r. Okay, dimension r plus wd and ht. Okay, so now it will return this. So when you display this, you will get the output as so output as op1, output as dimension r dimensi or dimension r 5 and 6. This is what you'll get the output. Okay, so this is one example of how to override the toString method. Now suppose you change some small, you add some code to the main method. Suppose you create the another string s, right, equals to string s is the object. Okay, so now string s equals to box, string s equals to box has plus box has ob. So again here you are concatenating a normal string into a object. Again ob will be evaluated. Okay, again ob will be evaluated, and when you try to print sop s, okay, sop s, then what you will get it, output as op2, second output as box has dimension dimension are 5 and 6. So this is what the output that you will be getting it, right? This is what the output for this. Okay, and this is the output for this. So you can make the difference. Okay, you can make the difference how you have overridden the toString method. So you can override the toString method by specifying public keyword, and string is in the return type. So that's why you are returning a string. So you are returning here you are returning a string. Okay, and toString is the overridden method that is there in the string class. Okay, so I hope I have made it clear. So this is how val of method and toString method are used. So just to kind of give you a recap of it, the val of method are generally used to calculate the values of the variable or values of the data. Okay, for example, the here when this was evaluated, so okay, when this was evaluated, right, it has gone, link has gone to the control, has gone to over here, and it has to calculate, it has written this. So while returning it, you do not know what is the value of wd. Wd and st are the instant value. So it is the value of method who is responsible for calculating the for extracting or identifying the value of wd variable and st variable, and after having it will frame a string and then will display this as an output. Okay, so this is how it works. And coming to the point, toString method is used used in a scenario whenever an object is involved to calculate its corresponding string value. So now next we will see the character extraction. So as the name suggests, there is a string. As the name suggests, there is a string, and from that string we need to extract one or more characters. Okay, based on our requirement. You all know that the indexing of an array always starts from 0. Okay, for example, suppose there is an array. These are the cells of the array. Okay, these are the cells of the array, and each of the cells has a unique index location. So there are some of the programming languages where indexing not always it starts from 0. Okay, so but this Java indexing of an array starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Okay, so indexing of an array starts from 0. Okay, a string indexing starts from 0. It's very, very important because we are going to extract character based on the index value that we will be supplying. First, the first string character extraction method. The first character extraction method is charact. Okay, so the syntax is it will return the character. So whichever character is there at a particular index location, it will return it. For example, suppose there is a string. Str equals to hello. Okay, hello. Now since there are 5 characters in a hello, so h will be replacing here. H will go out here. H e will go out here. this is L O. Okay, and obviously the last will be slash null. Okay, and that I'm not going to write. All those are internally handled. So there is a string str. Hello, you will make it. The object will be created. An object. This will be pointing to an object. This memory will be pointing to a object str. Okay. Now, our first method is char at. Okay, the char at syntax is char followed by char at equals to, okay, equals to sorry, in the parentheses you need to specify the index. So in short, this char at will str dot char at char at. Okay, so here you need to specify which index location character you want to extract it. Suppose you want to extract e of hello. So e of hello index is e is located in location 1, so index 1. So you write down like this, since it is going to return a character, so char ch. So when you display sop, okay, ch, then it will display answer as e. Okay, so this is how char at works. Okay, char at works. So you can do the same thing with the help of by directly specifying the literals. So this is the literal. Okay, this is the literal dot char at 1. So in this ABC, b is located at index number 1. So ch will hold the value b. Okay, now next is get chars. Here this char at was able to extract only one single character from the string. If you want to extract multiple characters from the string, then you have to use get chars, extract more than one characters at a time. So example, suppose there is a string s, and inside this string or object s, there is a string name is, this is the demo of the getChars method. Okay, now as you all know, the indexing starts from 0. So this the syntax says that you have to specify from which location to which location, source start, source end, from which index location to which location, okay, and from where, in which array you want to store it. Since there are more than one character, so obviously target is the character array. In which array you want to store it, and from which location of this target array you want to store it. So I think it will be more clear if I give this example. Okay, suppose here there is a string hello. Okay, and this is how indexing starts. This indexing from 4. Okay, suppose I want to store LLO. Okay, so I want to copy LLO. So from 2 to 4 of this str I want to store it. From 2 to 4, 3 characters of this str object or hello string I want to copy. Okay, LLO, so considering there are more than one characters, right? So here LLO, there are more than one characters, so I want to copy it. So as per the syntax, I should be using it str dot get chars, where c is in caps. Okay, so now let us go through the refer the index. Okay, start and in which, right? Start and in which. Okay, so start means from 2 location to 4 location, and in the op is the array. Okay, op is the character array, and starting from 0 index location of op I want to store it. So this is how you'll be storing it, right? So now if you see the output of op array, so this is your op array. Okay, so you will see the output in the op array. You will have the value L. Sorry, you will have the value L. Oh, okay. Now had it been a 1 instead of 0, suppose it was 1, then from index location 1, L O will be stored. So from this example you can easily identify that how from which location of the caller, that is S, from which location of S to which location of this S or this string I need to copy and store it in which array. Buffer is the name of the array. This is how I can create it, buffer, and from which index location of buffer I want to store it. If I want to store it somewhere in from the between of the buffer location, then also it is possible. Okay, so this is how you can extract multiple characters at the same time using the getChars functions. Now next is getBytes. You can getChars is also very similar to getByte is very similar to getChars, except whenever it tries to extract the information from the object or the string, okay, it will try to read the data in terms of byte. In terms of byte. Okay. For example, suppose there is a string str and you have got some manual, dev manuals. Suppose some string is there and you invoke this this object invokes getBytes, so it will return this information in terms of byte. So d will be converted to byte, e will be converted to byte, and so on. Okay, so now that's why when you display sop str, it will give dev manual, but if you display byte, okay, so byte is the character array. Okay, so byte it's a string byte is name of the character array after it returns it. Okay, so the string byte is of type byte. So if you see the syntax, getByte will return byte, so you need to have the array of type byte which has the ability to store in byte form. Okay, so that's why you d is converted into byte. That byte, whichever is the value, is displayed over here. Okay, so this is how getByte works. In short, you have a string, okay, that each and every character of the string will get converted into byte and will be stored in a byte. Okay, suppose you have got the 8, then whatever 8 value will be converted into byte. What is the byte value for 8? Then that corresponding values will be displayed. Next is a 2-character array. Now 2-character array is very important for us because it helps us to convert the string into a array. Now you all have seen from my last session that once an object is formed, okay, once a string object is formed from the character array, okay, and you change the content of the character array, it will not going to make any kind of reflection in the object of the string. Now the point out here is that, okay, I'll give you the example. Suppose you have the character array char ch equals to, okay, a b c. Suppose only 3 characters. I'm going to take it for simplicity reason. Okay, and then I'll make the string. Okay, string s equals to new string and then I'll supply here ch. Okay, so now here the point, very important point is, one, the string s is formed and you change the content of ch, it is not going to hamper s. Okay, but you want to change the content of s now. So once s is formed, you cannot change its content. Okay. So now suppose you want to change it. Okay, now, or you want the s to be, now s is what? Now once this is done, okay, once the second string is executed, s contains what? In double quotes a b c. Okay, now instead of this, you want to update the value of s, or you want to change the content of s, then the one of the easiest ways is to convert this string s or the object s into again character array. So you want to have this s into a character array. You want to convert this into a character array. Okay, so you want to have here a, you want to have here b, and you want to have here c. So how can we do so? So please note down that this and this is different. This is the string and this is a character array, and string and character array both are different. Okay, so you want to make from this to this. Okay, That is possible by with the help of to-char array. Okay, so to-char array converts all the characters in a string object into a character array. So you can see over here the example. So this is S1 is the string. So S1 is the object. Object is invoking to-char array into a character array. So for here in this case, the ch contains HELLO in different cells. Okay. Now we'll see some of the string searching operations. Okay, so these are the index of, there is a method in the string index of that will search the first occurrence of a character in the string, or the first occurrence of character or substring in a string. And similarly, first occurrence, then from the opposite side, last occurrence, last index of. Okay, so in both case, what will happen is that it will return an index value or integer value where the character or a substring was found. If the character or the substring that you are searching for with the help of the index and last index of method is not found, then it will return -1. Okay, so if it is not found, then basically you can check the return type, and then you can see, okay, whether the character or the substring is found in the existing string or not. If it is found, then it will return the index of that character or substring that is present in the string object. Okay, so these are some of the syntax. You can all try it out as per your convenient time. Okay, so until as you don't type and then you don't experiment on your own, you will not able to understand. So now in C and C++, you must have heard about two upper and two lower method. Okay, so in this of the string class. Similarly, in Java also we have two uppercase and two lowercase that will convert. So two lowercase will convert all the characters that is present in the string from the uppercase to lowercase. Okay, and from the lowercase to uppercase in case of two upper string. So you can see some of the examples you can see over here. So there is a string as this is a test. It is a mix of uppercase and lowercase. So if S is invoking two uppercase and you'll display upper, okay, and store the result in the upper and you display the result. So all the characters of the object are converted to uppercase and so on. Okay. Now next is equal. Suppose you want to compare two string S1 and S2. As shown in this example, S1 and S2 are same. So it will as if you want to compare two string, then you can use the help of string equals method. Okay, that is present in string class. So whenever you invoke the equal method, it will either return true or false. Okay, true if the strings are matching, false if the strings are not matching. Now how do you invoke it? So it will invoke equals method invoked with the help of the object, with the help of the string object, and in the parenthesis you will specify the name of the object or the string to which you want to with which you want to compare it. So S1 is the invoker and S2 is the object, is the name of the object or the string with which S1 wants to compare it. So S1 wants to compare check with the S1 wants to check with the S2. So this is how you can invoke it. Okay, so now this is how you can use the equal. Okay, now this equal method is different from double equals to, okay, operator. So here you are comparing the two string, but if you want to compare two objects, then you can use double equals to. Okay, now next is you can even suppose here there are two string S1 and S2. One is written in lowercase and one is written in hello case. Logically both are same. Okay, logically both are same. So if you want to compare this kind of values also, then you can consider equals ignore case. It will try to ignore the case of the string. Okay, so basically what it will do is that either one of the string S1 or S4, one of the string will get converted into lowercase always. Okay, so say for example it might happen that S4 whatever you will supply out here is always converted into a lowercase, or both of them will get converted into lowercase, or both of them are get converted into uppercase, and then it will try to compare character by character. Okay, now next is the compare to. Now you might want to suppose you might want to short the names of the student that are present in the class. Okay, say for example the names of the cities. Okay, suppose there are some names of the cities. Okay, so let us have SMIT. Okay, Sikkim, yeah, Gantok. Some examples. Okay, Delhi, Mumbai. Okay, these are the names. Okay, these are the names of the places. Okay, so you want to short it. You want to short it. You can take help of the compare to operator. So for sorting operation, compare to methods are very useful. So whenever you compare any two string, okay, it will return a integer. So compare to method is invoked by the object, just like the previous, here or here or here or here. Okay, some object, some string object has to invoke it. Okay, so that is invoking the compare to method, and to which you want to compare, with which you want to compare. Okay, so when you compare to a string, it will return either of these values, less than 0, greater than 0, and or equal to 0. Okay, now if the characters are same, if SMIT and SMIT are comparing, then obviously the return will be 0. Okay, now suppose you have the two string, so for example SIKKIM, Sikkim, and AERO. Okay, any aeroplane, PLA, any aeroplane. You want to compare two string. Obviously A comes before in the dictionary than S, so obviously aeroplane will be considered first in the increasing order of sorting, and S will come in the second. Okay, so that's what you can see. If the invoking string is less than the str, it will return 0. It will return 0, sorry, less than 0 if the invoking string is less than the str. So in that case, suppose this is Sikkim is S1. Okay, and aeroplane is S2, and you are trying to compare those two strings. Int x equals to S1 dot to, and compare to, okay, S2. Okay, S2. So now what will be the value of x, and how will you interpret it? So the value of x will be obviously less than 0, because S1 is invoking, S1 contains Sikkim, S is the word of the Sikkim, first character of the system, which comes later in the dictionary, and S2 is the object which contains A as aeroplane of the first character, so A comes before in the dictionary. So obviously if the invoker is less than the str, then it will return less than 0. So it will come. Now which one is greater in this case? Since it is returning negative 0, so S2 is greater than the, sorry, S1 is the greater than the S2. S1 is the greater than S2, because S comes later in the dictionary, S2 comes before in the dictionary. Okay, so you can use this concept in order to perform the sorting of names of the students, names of the cities, etc. Okay, so now next we, how can we modify the existing string? Okay, so you can modify the string using some of the commonly used string modification methods, like substring. You can actually using this method, you can extract the substring from the existing. These are the syntax. Okay, concatenation. Suppose you want to append a string into another string, concatenation you can perform. Replace, you can use it in order to replace a particular characters. For example, hello dot replace, so all L will be replaced by a W, so you'll get the output as HEWW0, because all L will be replaced with a W. So this is how you'll be using the replace method. And next is trim is used to basically remove the white space before and after the string. So when you invoke this string, you can see some of the space are there before hello world and after hello world, and trim method is invoked. So you can see in the output the space after D and space before H are truncated or trimmed. Okay, so this is the objective of the string method. So substring is used to extract a substring from the existing string. Concat is used to concatenate two string. Replace is you replace the characters. Trim is used to remove the leading and trailing white space. Okay, so these are some of the commonly used string for modifying the string. Apart from this, there are a lot of methods and string, but whatever that I've listed over here are some of the examples. Okay, are some of the commonly used which may be useful for you. Okay, for making any of the applications. Okay, so that's all for today. Okay, if you have any questions, I hope I made it clear. If you have any questions, you can please post or bring forward in our next live session. So just to give you a summary of it, what we have discussed the string conversion of value of method and the to string method, and we have seen some of the examples of character extraction like char at, get chars, get bys, to char array. So these are some of the commonly used character extraction method. Okay, and some of the string handling methods like how do you identify the index of it, how do you find the character or a string in the string, what is its location, how can we convert the case of the string, how can you compare or check whether the two string are equal or not without considering the case, and this compared to for comparing two string. Okay, and these are the list of some of the commonly used methods for modifying the existing string. Okay, thank you so much. I hope I had made it clear.